If you're watching this video, it's probably because you have a Bissell ProHeat carpet cleaner and you're finding that you're having trouble with it producing liquid when you're pulling the trigger. And you might have seen other videos. A lot of other videos cover cleaning the traps, making sure that the gaskets around where the water goes from the tank into the machine are seated correctly, all these different things. And maybe you've done all those things and you're still having this problem like I did. What you need to realize is that the system that the Bissell ProHeat uses has two belts. One is a serrated belt that goes around a cog or a cam at the end of the brush to spin the brush, and the other one is a plain flat belt that goes from the drive of the pump to the drive of the motor. And what happens is that the brush has teeth on it, so it's not going to slip. And so when that brush encounters resistance, the brush will slow down and create resistance. But because the belt on the fluid pump is attached to a flat belt that goes to the drive, the flat belt will start to slow down because of that resistance, but the drive will not. The motor will keep spinning. And so what ends up happening is, and you'll see this here in a moment, is that when there's resistance on the brush, because of that resistance, you no longer get power to the pump for the fluid. And so the reason this happens is because belts simply get old and they wear out. If you have got a car, one of the first symptoms on your fan belt on your car is that it starts squeaking because it gets loose, right? Most people don't wait till their fan belt snaps before they replace it. They replace it when it starts squeaking because they know it's loose. Well, same thing with this. You just don't get that squeal. The belt becomes loose and it no longer grabs, and most people wait for that belt to snap instead of replacing it when it needs to be replaced. So I'm going to show you the difference between an old belt that is just simply worn out, that hasn't snapped yet, and what happens after you replace the belt. So what I'm doing is I'm using the tool function. Obviously you can see there the knob is switched to tool, and I'm squeezing the button on the tool here pretty hard, and still nothing's coming out. In fact, it takes a few seconds for any fluid to come out, and the fluid is not shooting out by any means. It's barely dribbling out. So the pump obviously is not driving the fluid out very much, and you can see that it's just not happening. I'm going to push on the belt here. It's got quite a bit of deflection. I'm really barely pushing on it whatsoever, and it's dipping out quite a bit, so it's very, very loose. Hey look guys, I see a lot of these videos about how to fix these machines, and I see people taking machines apart piece by piece, trying to trace down the feed lines for the fluid, and trying to find out why there's no fluid coming out of the tank, and they simply aren't checking the basic things about how the system actually works. Look, it's really simple. It's a pump, it's a belt, and if all the parts are functioning correctly, your machine should work. So check this out. Here you can see the old belt side by side with the new belt. Yes, these are actually the same belt. You can see that this old belt is quite a bit stretched compared to the new belt, and it's almost exactly lined up, and you see that's a considerable gap that the old belt has over the new belt. So old belt, goodbye. All right, here's the new belt installed. Casing in here is quite hard, but as you can see, the new belt has hardly any deflection at all. It's quite a bit tighter. I actually had to pull it over the spindle to get it tight, and so that's obviously going to perform quite a bit better. And here we have the results. In fact, I'm barely pushing on the button, and immediately we have a great stream of cleaning solution coming out. It's coming out in a awesome fan pattern. It's very, very even. You can see by the lines it's hitting the carpet that it's very, very focused. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. In fact, I'll turn it to the side here. You can see how far it's shooting out. It's quite a bit more force, and it'll be the same with the floor cleaner. So there you have it. It's pretty obvious. Not only can you see that the fluid is coming out consistently, it's actually coming out with quite a bit more force. The fan is really, really wide and even, and it's consistent. As soon as you hit the button, the fluid is coming out. And so it's the same with the jets that are above the brush on the main body. The fluid is getting pumped from the same place through the same system, and so regardless if you're using the tools or the floor cleaning mechanism, you're going to have the same results. So I hope that helped you guys out. Remember that these belts and stuff have a specific service life, and they need to be replaced when they get loose, not just when they snap, and they're really, really cheap and pretty quick to fix. You can find a lot of videos on YouTube about how to fix them, how to actually do the replacement. It only takes, I think, literally 3 minutes. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thanks.